Hi, hello, and welcome or welcome back. I hope you're having a great day, a great week, a great month, and a great 2020. So I'm just gonna jump right into this. For those of you who are stumbling upon me for the first time, I'm Ryden. I'm 26 years old, and I've been in the adult industry doing, adult porn, sex work, whatever you want to call it, for, oh God, almost 8 years now. I can't believe it. And people who have followed me for a long time know that I'm really usually against giving any kind of adult related advice. And it's specifically because years ago things used to be very different. People had much deeper stigma related beliefs about adult stuff. And when people asked for advice, they wanted you to spoon feed them all this information that more than likely they never wanted to use in the first place because they were just morbidly curious. Now, the reason that I'm thinking about, giving at least a little advice, just some starting off how not to screw it all up advice, is because things are different now. I mean, every single day you log on to Facebook and you see a meme of like, fuck this, I'm gonna go sell feet pics or be a stripper and jokes and whatever. But people also talk about it so casually so often that I think it makes others believe that it's really easy to get into, to the point where they don't have to do any research. They just post on Facebook, come buy my feet pics, message me for details. And then they wonder why it doesn't work out for them, or, they get themselves into a crazy, crappy situation. So today, instead of being like, oh, this is how you could be successful, because it's an unpredictable market. There's no way to tell people how to 100% be successful. I'm just here giving some basic starter how-tos so that you don't totally shoot yourself in the foot before you even get going, okay? Just some basic advice, I guess. I guess it's advice. Yay! You guys got me to do it. Congratulations. So first and foremost, your best friend as an adult entertainer is the persona that you create around you. And that's not me saying like, oh, this is a persona, I'm totally different. Like, no, this is basically me. But with the stage name, establishing yourself on social media, getting started, you kind of have to create a little brand new you that's ready. You gotta make yourself, and it's because you have to make sure that your personal identity is protected. Because even though the people that buy from you, they're not the kind of people that want to out sex workers or have a scary belief that would put you in danger. There are people out there who just don't like this as a whole and don't want people to do it, and so they will try to put the people who do it in danger. So the first thing I want to point out is the stage name. You absolutely need to have a stage name. You have no idea how many people I know who have shot themselves in the foot by not having a stage name. It is the first safety net. Because there are going to be people out there who are going to want to get your personal information. And if you're just handing them your first name, that's really easy for them to find the rest of your personal information. And you could be put in physical danger. You could get doxxed. You could threaten any future job prospects. Which, of course, I do want to point out really quick that if you plan on doing something career-wise in the future that, having a past in sex work might put that up in jeopardy, then you should really think deeply into how or if you're going to do this. But anyway. Stage name, very important. Always go with a stage name. Come up with something unique, because marketability means it lends directly to individualism, and there are a lot of people out there in the adult industry with the same name. You gotta come up with something unique. Next thing I'm gonna talk about is social media. Because the fact of the matter is, when I started this, you could go on just about any social media site and find a way to market yourself. But because adult stuff is coming so close to surface and so many people know about it, on the other end, sites are becoming way more strict. Can't have adult stuff on Instagram, can't even mention adult stuff on Instagram or Facebook. It's the same way with Tumblr now, same way with Snapchat and whatnot. So you really want to go with, my suggestion is Twitter. I think Twitter is the best for it, because even though you should and absolutely must mark your content as sensitive, go into your settings and mark your content as sensitive, you can post adult things, post adult links, post nudity and whatnot, and it's not really super against the rules. But again, you want to have your stuff marked as sensitive so you have that little safety bubble around you. You don't want to have any nudity in your profile picture or in your little banner. You want to keep, very explicit wording in your bio to a minimum. Try not to use many hashtags. And for your bio, for your links, you should have like a link site. Like I have an all my links, and it links to all my links and it keeps me safe. But also a lot of performers do that, and then for their pinned tweet, they just have all of their links. So for Twitter, you also kind of want to follow other performers and, be age verified, which I'm going to get to in a minute, but follow other performers because they will follow you. All we have is each other, and all we have is like the people who are nice enough to follow us and nice enough to buy our content and like to buy our content and want to buy our content and love our content and whatnot. And it's just not as open in the same way as things used to be, so it's a little harder to get found. So it's really important to support other performers because they will support you. Most of the people I follow on my Twitter account are adult entertainers, and I try to retweet them, as much as possible while still leaving room for my own content, because I think that's the right thing to do. And in exchange, I have lots of people who retweet me. I get lots of new followers from, other performers being kind and retweeting me. So it is really important to be kind to who are essentially your coworkers and buddies, at least in my opinion. I know I consider all of my sex work friends my coworkers and buddies. I don't know. So back to the age verification thing, and it's all going to be in one little bubble, but in general, it's about the actual content sales portion. Because a lot of people have this idea that they can just advertise their Cash App or their Venmo or their PayPal and just send stuff directly and get money directly. But the fact of the matter is every single one of those payment apps have rules that explicitly state you cannot trade any type of adult service for cash using them. And if somebody is just a jerk and they want to be like, oh, well, give me your Cash App and I'll send you money, they will get your Cash App and report you just because they don't like what you're doing. And then you lose any money that's in your Cash App or your PayPal or your Venmo. It's all basically, the same story. And you lose your platform for sales, and you have to kind of start over in a way and give your followers all new information, and it just makes things incredibly difficult. I think the reason people opt for this instead of joining sites like ManyVids, MyFreeCams, so on and so forth, is because they feel a little intimidated because you have to provide the sites with a lot of personal information, but they only do that to age verify you, which is what a lot of performers look for when they're going to follow you back, So you're giving them verification that you are who you are, and in exchange, they're putting you on their platform and saying, hey, buy content from this person on our site. And they're an adult. They are who they say they are, and they're doing this, and it's great. It gives you a little platform, and not just that, but obviously it's a means to sell content in a way that you're not going to lose your platform by selling content, And I mean, there are people on all of these sites that don't have any social media that just roam around these sites, and if you have what they're looking for, you've got a brand new customer organically right there. So I know it's very intimidating, but it's extremely important not only to establish yourself on these sites because it's easier to get your content out there, make money, and not get yourself in a big hole by getting your Cash App deleted or whatever, but also it helps you be verified on other social medias, because once you're showing oh, I have these links, then other performers are like, oh, okay, so they're, verified. So they're obviously who they say they are, and they're adults. You would not believe how many people there are out there who are underage, who just don't put their age on their profile so nobody knows better, and then they sell content, which is CP. It is illegal. It is bad. You will go on the sex offender registry if you have it, They sell this stuff to people, and the people don't know any better, and it's not cool. And that's why a lot of professionals who have been doing it a long time, like myself, won't follow people back if they're not age verified, and there are people who won't buy content if you're not age verified. So it all links back to being established. And there are plenty of avenues that you can explore of the adult industry. You don't have to do what I do. You can do whatever you want to do, but in general, these are the things you should stick to and follow and try your best at. It's an unpredictable market. You can do all of this stuff right and still not get, you know, monster famous, but you don't have to blame it on something you did wrong or something wrong with you by just keeping yourself safe and doing it right and doing it the right way, you know? And then of course the other thing I do want to point out, because, you know, again, this is just another thing. You don't have to jump into this and like immediately expect to go buy a bunch of equipment like photo lamps and like tripods and like all kinds of editing software and whatnot. As long as you have the ability to shoot content, to cam, to do phone sex, to do whatever that you want to do as a content creator, all you need to worry about is doing it right and doing it authentically, and then all of that stuff comes after. You can create amazing content with just a phone and like a bare bulb lamp or like, you know, natural window lighting. You can do it with nothing. I mean, I did it for years. I never bought my first set of photo lamps until like 2-3 years into my career. You don't have to have all of this extra equipment and stuff and expect yourself to be this big professional immediately. It'll all come naturally, especially if you're just going into it and going about it the right way and focusing on the right things, which is getting yourself established solidly and safely. And I think that's about all I want to say. If there's anything else I thought about saying, I'm completely blanking out on it right now. But I really hope this was helpful, at least to one person, you know? If I help one person with this to not make a dumb, silly, stupid mistake, then I will have done myself a justice, because this has been something I've been thinking about doing for weeks now. So for those of you who are watching this and thinking about getting into the industry, happy trails, you know. For those of you who are watching this and decided, you know, maybe it's not for you, like, that's perfectly fine. I support you too, and I thank you so much for watching and taking my word to heart either way. And I think that about wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out my other videos, subscribe, turn on notifications, and maybe check out my other social media. Either way, I hope you guys have an amazing day.